Okay, so the Leafs are out, and this is what I think. Got to look at this team in terms of strategy and not in a reactionary way. Now, how do we get to the point where in March, before the trade deadline, this team felt that they weren't good enough to go on a run? How did we get there after 6 years? You know, someone pointed out to me actually, it's not just Dubas, it's Shanahan as well. Shanahan should know what a Stanley Cup running team looks like. And the person who pointed this out said as well that, we know when a team is a Stanley Cup potential team, right? So this team never was. And I said in March, you're wasting your time spending all these draft picks that can become future stars, can become future players with a 3-year long entry level contract at $925,000 a year. Imagine. So look what the stupidity of what's happened is. We've lost 2 first round picks. We've lost 2 second round picks, 2/3. We've gained a UFA in Ryan O'Reilly. We got to the second round and lost in 5 games. Is it worth it? We lost the first round pick for Jake McCabe, who was in the penalty box for the first goal tonight. Was it worth it? No. Really, no. The thing I think we've gained is that Dubas and Shanny may finally wake up and realize what it takes in terms of constructing a team. I don't think they really understand it completely, but they do. They've now tweaked to the idea that you need solid defenders, not the Justin Halls of the world, right? He is what he is, not his fault. You need the Ryan O'Reillys, the Acciaris, the Laffertys, the Kampfs, dare I say the Keefs, the Kerfoot, and not the Engvalls and the Malgins and the Marners and the Matthews and the John Tavareses. They're useless. You like them in the regular season. They play shinny. Nobody bothers them. They score a few goals. They got points. Hey, the rest of the league is smart enough to know that the regular season is not all that important. Carolina comes to mind. They're in the conference finals. Year on year, they build their team. They're defensively strong. They've got Frederik Andersen, our former goalie that we let go for nothing. Everyone said he's not good enough in the playoffs. Well, he's good enough in the playoffs. He's in the finals. He's good enough. Where's the argument? There's none. He's there. And I said when they let him go, why are you letting Freddie go? You're going to regret it. And what do we end up with? Losing a third line center and more. Wasting a year with Campbell. Murray and Samsonov, who got us nowhere. They put us in a position where Joseph Woll had to come in and save the day. And you know what? We had a chance at that series with Joseph Woll had he been in net from the beginning. Samsonov was weak. In Tampa Bay, the Esimont goal, flopping around for the 4th goal. He's falling on a Florida forward, flopping around on the ground as the Florida forward scores. Like, on and on and on. Freddie was good enough. Sign him for 5.5. Use Shalgren as a backup. Fine, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's the regular season. Let the guy grow. Let him learn with Freddie. Let him become an NHL goalie. Some people take more time. Toronto fans are always like, oh, this player's got to come in and save us. This is the new star, the new goalie, the Garrett fucking Sparks. It doesn't always work like that, and it shouldn't work like that. Joseph Woll shouldn't be put in the position to try and save this fucking team. Why should he be in that position? He's an AHL goalie, right? We shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. You see, if we had... look at this. At 5.5, you've got Freddie. At 4.5, you've got Murray. People at the beginning of the season were telling me, oh, Dubas is a genius. Anyone going to argue that now? I don't think so. Sammy was weak in the playoffs. He came into the playoffs with a 1-6 record. Murray was broken. I got a toenail. So, these are stupid decisions that have been made over the last 6 years by Shanahan and Dubas. And they're infuriating. And this is why we end up where we are, because of these kinds of decisions. With Murray, he signed for another year at 4.5. Yeah, isn't that great? 4.5 million for a goalie who's going to play 20 games and win 12 of them, and then be broken for the playoffs. Oh, that's okay. You can buy out his contract. It's going to cost you $2 million. That's $2 million out of the cap that other teams have that we don't have because of the stupid fucking decision of signing this jackass from Ottawa that they didn't even want. Oh, but he won 2 cups. He won 2 cups 10 years ago. He did not win 2 cups in the last 2 years. He's not Vasilevsky. It's so fucking dumb. It is just unbelievable. And it's not like, well, I'm so smart. It's just fucking common sense. But more of the sort of old-time, longer, I've been a Leaf fan since 1980, will tell you about this organization. And if you're watching this and you're under 30, and you're like, but the Leafs, doesn't work like that. You need badass, hard-nosed, two-way players who give it their all. With a bit of talent, can pop 15 to 20 goals, 6 20-goal scorers on the team, rolling over your lines. Seattle Kraken, Vegas, Carolina. It's really frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. So, what else happened? We got rid of Sandin. Why did we get rid of him? Oh, because of the cap. We had to get rid of him. He was at 1.5 million, and he's gone, and he's just coming into his own, and he scored more points for Washington than Riley did for Toronto in the same period. And Riley cost us 7.5. Tell me how that makes sense. Give Riley 8 years at 7.5 with a no-move clause. So we can't get rid of him as he declines. So, what else? The other thing that is absolutely retarded that this organization has done is sign Matthew Knies so that he could play in the playoffs because we're going all in and we're going to win now. You're not going to win now with Auston Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, and Tavares who don't show up. You're not going to win because you've spent $40 million on that quality and you expect them to score and you expect them to play and you expect them to grind and show up and win and play playoff hockey. They never do, they never have, and they never will. So what do? Oh, we need Knies. Knies is going to save us. Well, Knies was weak defensively. He's not used to the speed of the NHL. College hockey is not NHL hockey. It takes time for 95% of the fucking players to adjust. And I said this, go and look at this goddamn Leafs Digest nonsense. I said to them, don't put wasting Knies, don't do it. He gets crushed by Bennett. Now he's got concussion issues and he's only 20 years old. And he scored 1 goal for us. Now, he played well. I like him. Power forward. I like it. What I don't like is forcing the kid into the playoffs with 3 NHL games of experience and expecting him to push this team over the top. It's stupid. And on top of it, the icing on the cake is this. We talked about Murray's contract and getting rid of him. We can't play him. He's not going to play. He's just a waste. Now, by putting Knies into the playoffs, we've burnt a year of his entry-level contract. What does that mean? To win now, remember. And we haven't won now. We just got beaten by Florida in 5 games. And we barely beat Tampa, sorry. Seriously, we didn't play well. Everybody will agree with that. So now you've got 2 more years of Knies' entry-level contract, and he is going to ask for money. He's going to play well for 2 years. He's going to learn the game, and he's going to want more money. And then 3 years from now, we are going to have to pay him when we could have kept him out of the playoffs. You should have had a team that was already good enough because you gave up all of our fucking picks anyway to get the Laffertys and the Acciaris and the Ryan O'Reillys. The team was supposed to be good enough, right? And if the team wasn't good enough, why get Gustafsson from Washington in the Sandin trade? If you needed a fucking left winger, why not trade Sandin for a fucking left winger? Like a body who can play a two-way game. So in 2 years, we got to sign him. It's going to cost us more money, pushed up against the cap. It's such short-term thinking. It drives me mad. And it worsens our position as an organization. Look at Carolina. That's how I think you do it. You build it. You build your farm. You build your picks. You build a pool of talent. And you don't ask them to come in and save this organization because you've got 4 guys who won't show up. It's stupid. And now you see it. We've lost. We lost the picks. We might re-sign O'Reilly. Nylander's going to ask for all kinds of money. Matthews going to ask for all kinds of money. You're going to just let them go? Trade one of them or both of them. And Murray, put his contract in there as well and get a fucking elite goalie. And let Wall play second. Don't ask him to come in next year and play 60 games and be the number 1. Like, it's unreasonable. Get an elite goalie. You know? And in the trade back, get a solid two-way right-handed player who is smart enough to pace himself throughout the year and turn it on in the playoffs. I said it since September, and I'm saying it now. And I'm only making this channel because it's recorded. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm willing to put my hands up and say, hey, I was wrong about that. Like my friend today said, you know, what about Shanahan? You know, you can't just put it on Dubas. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's right. That's right. Shanahan hired him. Shanahan should be his guide as a rookie, because Dubas was a rookie GM. And I'm willing to say that I missed that bit. The other thing that he pointed out, interestingly, is in the next 4 years, you've got Montreal, Ottawa, Buffalo, Detroit, who are all getting better. Why? Building and drafting. Not trying to moneyball and be clever. And then bringing up AHL players to fill holes like Engvall and Hall. You know? We replaced Engvall with Acciari, and we gave up picks to do it. You know? It's just... And it's almost been this way since the 80s. You know, we were all saying in the 80s, stop going to the games, stop buying merchandise, refuse to support this team until the ownership starts hurting in the pocket. Nobody wants to watch the games. Nobody wants to go and sit in Scotiabank Arena and pay how much money you guys pay for your jerseys. I have no idea. And make them hurt. Make them hurt until you as a person and a fan and someone who's supported this team with your energy, your time, and your money. For energy, your time, and your money, your life put into this team. And they don't give a shit. They're happy to take your energy, time, and money and put this kind of loser team on the ice with this GM who has a nutcase, and Sheldon is just left. He's just all over the place, isn't he? What the hell is he doing? You know, Fletcher came in and sorted that team out with an amazing trade for Gilmore, Natras, McCowan. We forget the Natrases, the McCowans, the Osborne, Eastwood, Zezel, Foligno, Baumgartner, Krushelnyski. And then you throw scorers like Clark and Gilmore who can play a tough game on top of that, and you get a hot goalie in behind. You get Ellett. Gill wasn't Gill, give it away, Gill. Ellett back there. And you have a team of guys who are going to grind out wins, which is what Florida just did to us. So have we learned our lesson? Or are we going to keep going back every year and going, Dubas made a clever move to trade Mulligan for Marchment? I see Marchment going into the finals with Dallas. I don't know what you see. You know, Dallas goes, ooh, this guy can hit, he can defend, he can skate, and he can score some goals. We'll have him. You know? So, to all the people on the internet who said, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about, I know. And I was right, and you were wrong. And that includes Zach. Sorry, buddy, but anytime, all these things that I said would happen that we should and shouldn't do, just wouldn't even. It's an incredible thing in Toronto, though. The lack of ability to debate and discuss in a mature way, in an intelligent way, in a way that we find common ground and try and understand how to move this team forward. As my interest in it is the strategy, but the lack of debate, it just if you don't agree with me, I'm going to shut you down. That's this attitude. And where does this shit come from? Like, this is not how Western civilization grew to be so strong. It's incredible. I don't live in Canada anymore, but to see the change and then just the complete lack of ability to have these kinds of conversations. I went back on his channel and he blocked me. He blocked me for what? For saying that I was right. And then he's on there spouting what I was saying 3 months ago. And then he blocks me when I say, hey, dude, I said this 3 months ago, and he blocks me. Oh, because he wants to be the big man. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. I was right. You were wrong. And I think I'm going to watch this team from afar over the summer. Just wait for the news to come out. See what they do. I've done videos on what I think they should do going forward. 5 games. I called it, by the way. 5 games. Florida in 5 games. Hopefully that's on video. I think it is. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And I'm not saying blow it up. I'm saying start making moves that are intelligent and build, not reactionary. We have to win now. We have to win now. Let's trade O'Reilly scores 11 goals a year. Like, I love him. He's great. I love the guy, and his mentality is exactly right. I'd love to get rid of the top 4 core and make O'Reilly the captain, and replace those 2 lines with some solid 2-way players, and we might start getting somewhere. That's it. That's all I think I have to say about it. It's a disgrace to throw Nyes in there. It's a disgrace to expect Wall. You should have seen him. He was distraught when he got scored on. That doesn't do his confidence any good, And why? It was because of offensive zone cock-ups that he was in that position. It's just wrong. So I got to get on with my life. Got stuff to do. Take care, guys, and let's hope that this organization has the sense to give us a GM that knows how to build a team. Let's hope.